Stages. Nothing beside the fighters defines Super Smash Bros. Than its memorable and to a large extent nostalgia-infused venues. Just like with everything else in Ultimate, the number of stages this time around is jaw-crushing. Not only have Masahiro Sakurai and his development team done everything in their might to bring as many of the best stages as possible from the close to 20-year history of the franchise,
they have also gone the extra mile to update the 3DS exclusive stages from Smash to meet the HD standard of all the other stages, similarly updated to HD returning Melee and Brawl stages, and on top of that, introduced a few new stages from games such as Splatoon, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, and Castlevania plus boss stages? There's just so much to go over here, so in order to get a better understanding of some of the changes they have gone through, we will take a deeper look at the stages inside Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. (103). That is the confirmed number of stages inside Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. To give you a little perspective, for the same $60 at launch, you will get more than twice as many stages as in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. And you can play 8-player battles and morph all of these? That's insane. How is it even possible, Sakurai?
Apparently, Ultimate is just Nintendo's equivalent of Guinness Book of World Records, only that all the records are set by one development team and one director. The numbers we're talking about are unreal, the workload to accomplish it must be inhumane, and the payoff will be the greatest ever. Strap yourself in, as this is going to be a long one. But we have to begin somewhere, and in order to keep things structured, we have divided this analysis into specific categories. New stages, stages from 64, Melee, Brawl and Wii U, 3DS stages, and boss stages.
Let's begin with the new stages. As it stands, this will be the Smash with the fewest brand new stages, but there is a reason for it, as you will soon find out. The first stage is obviously the new battlefield, which has been subtly updated from Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. The most noticeable changes are seen in the background, which feature less ruins and no massive moon during the day this time around. As for the Smash banners, they now have a gold Smash Ball instead of the white one found in Wii U. The same changes naturally apply for Big Battlefield. Next we have New Donk City Hall from Super Mario Odyssey's Metro Kingdom, which is a moving stage that is rather dynamic. The entire setup starts like a normal stage on ground level at New Donk City Plaza, but quickly the battle is moved higher and higher up the Mario equivalent of the Empire State Building. The interesting thing about this stage is that the platforms are shaped like construction scaffoldings, similar to those found in Super Mario Odyssey. The development team has been really faithful to the source material in this instance. Even so, from our observation, there will be no hazards in the form of yellow cabs on the ground level. But in the background at the top level, Mario's airship the Odyssey will appear to truly give a taste of last year's second greatest adventure. Finally, as icing on the cake, we have the band and Pauline. Since unless you activate all the musicians and Pauline, Jump Up Superstar will only be heard as an instrumental track.
Since by no doubt the greatest adventure last year was The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. We have already referenced how we have mixed feelings for the Great Plateau Tower, as it doesn't offer too much for being a Smash stage. For one, the stage is completely flat and its main gimmick is tied to temporarily dismantling the top part of the tower. The background of Hyrule with the castle and Death Mountain is breathtaking, and the inclusion of the paragliding old man are nice touches. But out of all the Zelda stages, this stage feels like a missed opportunity for something greater, based on a game so groundbreaking as Breath of the Wild. If Great Plateau Tower feels like a missed opportunity, then that can definitely not be said about the two debut game series stages. Starting with Splatoon's Moray Towers, which is more or less a completely identical adaptation of the stage from Splatoon, with multiple floors, day and night cycle, decorational ink, Judd and Little Judd from Splatoon and Splatoon 2 keeping track of the current leader with the victory flag. All in all, this stage is very different from your traditional stationary or moving stage, as it doesn't transform but allow players to take advantage of its multiple floors. And if any player get knocked off, well then Judd and Little Judd follows suit. A nice touch indeed.
Then you have Dracula's Castle. Where do we even begin? Despite being the darkest traditional stage in the series, this has so many alterations. One of them is even as a boss stage, which we will get back to later on in the video. As for the classic multiplayer iteration with 2 moving platforms, the stage, featuring in classic Castlevania style breakable candles for items, is full of hazards in the form of Castlevania bosses that will drop in on the stage during fights. These include the creature of Frankenstein, Mummy, Medusa, Werewolf, Camilla, and obviously Death. Kid Dracula has also been teased, but as of the time of this upload, we still don't know if he will be a hazard or has something to do with the boss version of this stage. More on that later, as we have one final brand new stage, namely Ultimate's Final Destination. This Doomsday-like stage is flat as always, with only grabbable edges if you would fall off. It also has some Spirit or Final Fantasy VII livestream like either substance powering the stage. If this wasn't Smash, we would have believed that this belonged to the Shinra Corporation. But enough of that, as we know that Master and most likely Crazy Hand will be found on this stage. Now, over to the returning, or as we call them, nostalgia-infused stages.
The number of returning stages from previous Super Smash Bros. Installments is according to Smash Wiki 96. If we exclude the 3DS exclusive stages that we will soon get back to, 70 out of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate's 103 stages originate from either Super Smash Bros. 64, Melee, Brawl or Wii U, beginning from the soon-to-be 20-year-old Super Smash Bros. 64. Its stages have been retained in the same polygonal style to respect the source material, with an added HD sharpness, and as such, it must have not been too hard to bring 7 out of the game's 9 stages to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. These are Peach's Castle from Super Mario 64, Mushroom Kingdom from Super Mario NES, Super Happy Tree from Yoshi's Island, Congo Jungle from Donkey Kong Country, Hyrule Castle from Ocarina of Time, Dreamland from Kirby's Dream Land and Superstar, and Saffron City from Pokemon Red and Blue. Of these, Mushroom Kingdom and Saffron City are back for the first time since Super Smash Bros. 64, but as previously said, not many changes have been applied.
Moving on to the returning stages from Super Smash Bros. Melee. Out of Melee's 29 stages, 19 are present in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. These are Princess Peach's Castle and Rainbow Cruise from Super Mario 64, Mushroom Kingdom 2, which is really based on Super Mario Bros. 2 in the USA, Yoshi's Island from Super Mario World, Yoshi's Story from Yoshi's Story, Congo Falls from Donkey Kong Country, Jungle Japes from Donkey Kong Country and Donkey Kong 64, Great Bay from Majora's Mask, Temple from Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link, Brinstar from Metroid and Super Metroid, Brinstar Depths from Super Metroid, Fountain of Dreams from Kirby's Adventure, Green Greens from Kirby's Superstar, Corneria and Venom from Star Fox 64, Pokemon Stadium from, the same name, Origin, Onett and Fourside from Earthbound, and Big Blue from F-Zero X. Out of these, Princess Peach's Castle, Mushroom Kingdom 2, Yoshi's Story, Congo Falls, Great Bay, Brinstar's Depths, Fountain of Dreams, Venom, and Fourside have not been present in a Smash Bros. Game since Melee. Nevertheless, unlike the returning stages from 64, all of Melee's stages, and in particular the ones returning for the first time since 2001, have been heavily enhanced and balanced for the HD era, with more details and content in the background of the stages. Even so, one stage in particular stands out, namely Corneria, which is now based on Star Fox Zero, so in a way, a reimagined stage. Just like Star Fox Zero was in comparison to Star Fox 64. How fitting. Over to Brawl, where we have 26 returning stages out of the game's 41, so here they go. Delfino Plaza from Super Mario Sunshine, Luigi's Mansion, Mushroom Kingdom, Figure 8 Circuit from Mario Kart DS, Mario Bros, Yoshi's Island from Yoshi's Island, 75M from Donkey Kong, Bridge of Eldin from Twilight Princess, Pirate Ship from Wind Waker, in this case Wind Waker HD, Norfair from Super Metroid and Metroid Zero Mission, Frigate Orpheon from Metroid Prime, Halberd from Kirby Superstar, Lilac Cruise from Star Fox Assault, Pokemon Stadium 2, Spear Pillar from Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, Port Town Arrow Drive from F-Zero GX, New Pork City from Mother 3, Summit from Balloon Fight, Castle Siege from Fire Emblem, Skyworld from Kid Icarus, WarioWare, Distant Planet from Pikmin 1 and 2, Shadow Moses Island from Metal Gear on PlayStation 1, Green Hill Zone from Sonic the Hedgehog, Smashville from Animal Crossing, and Hannonbow from Electroplankton DS. Of these, Mario Bros., Frigate Orpheon, Spear Pillar, New Pork City, Summit, Hannonbow, and Shadow Moses Island return for the first time since Brawl and have received a true HD and balancing overhaul. One other stage from the Brawl selection that we have to bring up here is Bridge of Eldin, which, along with another returning Brawl stage, looks so crisp in comparison to Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. Speaking of,
all of the new stages and DLC stages introduced in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U have made their way over to Ultimate, with exception of Miiverse, rest in peace, Orbital Gate Assault, Woolly World from Yoshi's Woolly World, and Pyrosphere because Ridley has joined the fight, meaning that no other M stages are found in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Good. The final Super Smash Bros. For Wii U stage to not make the cut is Jungle Hijinks from Donkey Kong Country Returns, mostly because it would have caused a problem for the dual stage morph feature found in Ultimate due to its technicality and dual layer. The rest of the stages are safe and sound, and since stage hazards can now easily be deactivated, we have nothing against that Wily Castle and Gar Plain return. Over to the returning Super Smash Bros. For 3DS stages. Though before we go over to the returning stages, we need to point out the obvious. Enhancing the visuals of the 3DS stages from 240p to 1080p is a massive leap, and it shows in how textures are no longer blurry, but just as sharp as the brand new stages for Ultimate. The demand for the inclusion of 3DS stages was high, and Sakurai and his team has gone far in order to, out of 20 3DS exclusive stages, only leave out 2.
With that being said, these two are very questionable, and is a topic we will return to in a separate video. Anyhow, all stages have been enhanced, rebuilt, and refurbished, both on the stage and in the background, and they match the visual quality and fidelity of the console stages. And the transition has been flawless for all of the returning stages. 3D Land, Golden Plains from New Super Mario Bros. 2, Paper Mario, which is based on both the best and worst Paper Mario games, Thousand Year Door and Sticker Star, Gerudo Valley from Ocarina of Time 3D, Spirit Train from Spirit Tracks, Dreamland GB, Unova Pokemon League from Pokemon Black and White, Prism Tower from Pokemon X and Y, Mute City SNES, the lovely Magicant stage from Earthbound, Arena Ferox from Fire Emblem Awakening, Reset Bomb Forest from Kid Icarus Uprising, Tortimer Island from Animal Crossing New Leaf, Balloon Fight, Living Room from Nintendogs, Find Me from Street Pass Quest, and PictoChat 2 from Brain Age. Porting over all of these stages, enhancing and balancing them for HD glory must have been frustrating, but also a very rewarding struggle for Sakurai, as he knows that many have not played the 3DS stages or vice versa, and that the HD version of these stages will give a fresh, brand new feeling to all players. Was it necessary? Since the title of the game is special in Japan and Ultimate in the West, it seems that he didn't have a choice. But bringing nearly every stage is still a feat hard to comprehend. The same goes with his effort to have boss battles and special stages for this.
So for the first time since Super Smash Bros. Brawl, we once again have dedicated boss stages. In Ultimate, these are dedicated to Count Dracula from Castlevania and Rathalos from the Monster Hunter series. The boss stage against Count Dracula and Dracula's castle begins with Dracula on his throne, pulling his cape and unleashing his attacks. No platforms to shield you from his attacks are present in this 1 vs 1 boss layout of the Dracula's castle. It is tough, it is rough, but that is also the point for a boss stage. This is also the reason why Rathalos stage, which bears deep similarities to Monster Hunter's Ancestral Step, is also completely flat, so that you are completely exposed to Rathalos' wrath, with only a mountain view in the background for comfort. And there you have it. You can say that the fighter motto of everyone is here is close to be true for the stages in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, as an insane amount of stages has been brought back for this game. Even so, there are still a few stages that we hope can make it into the game, along with some newcomers, and that is exactly what we will go over in a future video.
Thank you so much for watching to the end, and if you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, and if you are new, subscribe to the Commonwealth Realm and press that notification bell to help us on our way to 200,000 subscribers. Finally, we want to thank all of our great patrons, including royal producer Kenyatta Ali, for their financial support of the channel. For more Nintendo Switch hardware, game, and accessory news, reviews, and in-depth videos, you are more than welcome in our realm.